You're such an asshole.
So, Anonymous sent this in because he hates me. Hey, Cappy, I thought you'd enjoy this article on woke penetrating its way into tech. Article here. This is from marketplace.org, but it's from 4.5 years ago. It's from 2020. And this is back when the worthless people of the programming world said, oh my God, master and slave? Boot, like a technology, like you have to have a master drive, slave drive. Male, female electronic components and parts. And you dopey Westerners and Americans, oh my God, their master suite. Oh, we're sorry. Like Edina Realty, Edina actually refused to use master suite anymore. And I'm just like, could you just bend over and spread your ass cheeks just a little bit more? And I'm too tired. Just too tired for it. So that's from this era. And I'll read the article, but I had a hard time figuring out what to say, and I clicked on different links. I'm like, who the hell are these people? By the way, not in the marketplace.com. This is marketplace.org. It's a no-name website with a no-name writer, and it's quoting no-name people. I don't mean popular. I just mean, and you're going to see where I'm going with this. So here it is, written by Kimberly Adams. If you wish to look her up, it's a common name. Look up Kimberly Adams Journo or author, and you'll find her webpage among the billions of other unemployed journos. Tech companies update language to avoid offensive terms. June 17th, 2020. Several ass-spreading or cheek-spreading major technology firms are moving to update some of the basic language underpinning the industry, dropping terms that could be considered racially offensive and replacing them with more neutral language, like terms like blacklist for malicious website or whitelist for safe emails. They're being swapped out in favor. Okay. When you really think about it, it's just a weird way to describe something when you could say exclude or include. It's more precise. Said Gabriel Sapasso, a senior engineer at LinkedIn. Let's look up Gabriel Sapasso. Okay. I didn't click on this person before. They have a website. Can I see about? Do I get a picture? Let me look this up. Just bear with me. I'm Gabriel Sapasso. Oh, fudge. I clicked the wrong thing. Gabriel Sapasso. Let me look at the images. Well, is that one word or two word? Let me see. Is that a guy? No, I don't know if that's the. What do we know about Gabriel? Gabriel Sapasso, a senior software at LinkedIn. Gabriel Sapasso, LinkedIn. Owner insurer. I'll tell you, there's a lot. Okay, this is a surprisingly common name. Senior recruiter, Verizon. Wow, there is a lot of Gabriel Sapassos. I have no idea which one it is. I usually be able to find them. We're going to ignore this for now. A senior engineer, software engineer at LinkedIn. He also pointed to more troublesome terms he's working on removing from the software he works with. Like the software side of things, where master could be referring to a machine that is the main machine, and slave, which could be the thing that the master controls, he said. Carla Monterosoro, CEO of Code 2024. Look her up. It's another nonprofit, worthless. By the way, when reading through Code 2024, I realized it's going to be one of them like limit studies. Like someday down the road, everyone's going to have a nonprofit that they're the CEO of, right? Remember the Alpha Con? And I went through all the profiles of Alpha Con, and they're all a bunch of washed up jocks who all started their nonprofit leadership and helping men find themselves. Did any of you work for a living? No, or at least they didn't put it on their resume. A bunch of losers leading men. They were life coaches, like the type that I hate, right? The life coach who like had nothing going on in life. I know what I'll do. I'll be a life coach. Like that. That's what that was. So I have a theory. Dick Masterson had a philosophy. I mean, it was a joke philosophy that everyone is going to be a content creator, right? Because it's really fun. And as AI and the robots take over, we live in this kind of like Wall-E world where the robots take care of everything. We'll all just become content creators. And over a long enough period of a time, and assuming no war, like, yeah, actually we would. I think we would. Or professional hikers, whatever the heck. Hey guys. And so everyone is going to become a CEO. They're all going to run nonprofit. I don't even know what you chief executive officer of a nonprofit. Really? Why don't you just call yourself director or something anyway? So you look up Carla Montesoro, and oh my God, can you believe it? She is also, like Kimberly Adams, a fat woman. She's just fat. A woman is irrelevant to this discussion. She is fat. Okay. Who works to improve diversity in tech industry. Said the first time she came across master enslaving coding, she was so shocked she had a physical reaction to the terms. Lady, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Yeah, I didn't look up her profile. No, I know she doesn't have any real job. That's why she made up a bullshit nonprofit. Probably gets U.S. aid money too. I'd never seen the terminology used outside of a history book, she said. That's because you don't work in tech. That's probably why. Tell me you don't work in tech without telling me you don't work in tech. Arguing it's these types of conditions that make diversity in the tech industry a challenge. No, it's not a challenge. It's just fine. It's just fine. Grow a pair. Black and Latinx. Here you go. Here you go, Latinos. Remember, you're Latinx, right? Right, bro? Hey, bud. Hey, amigo. Latinx. Am I right? Black and Latinx people leave tech at 3 times the rate of their white male peers, probably because they were pushed into it. And you said, yeah, just come on in with no standards. We're not going to prepare you. We're just going to hold hands and sing a song. And we're going to lower the standards for minority people because we're white women. We're helping. Is that why? How'd that work? Did you guys waste all your time in college? Did the liberal white woman help you, or did they just delay your growth by 4 years and indebt you into college debt? You all better figure. I think you are starting to figure. Some of you are starting to figure out who your real friends are. We're not like huggy buddies, right? Look, when the liberal white woman, I gotta qualify that, comes in, a black person, oh, he's gonna be my pet. And they come up and hug, and oh my God, I just wanted to apologize. The hair should be going up on the back of your neck. That's Dracula trying to get into your house. And they are going to fuck your life up. And it's not like, we're not like that. Your real friends are like, John, how are you? Like, I can't say it how we really greet our real friends. Hey, dick nuts. And if you see, this is why you need men in your life. You need men friends. If you screw up just this much, that's all your male friends are doing, is waiting for this slight infraction, just this slight little gap in the armor to get in there and wham, wham, wham. Oh, look, who's a little baby? And I got you a pacifier. Those are your friends. Those are the people who actually care about you, are the ones that bust your balls and say, you're effing up over here. It's not the point of this discussion. Just want to point out who your real friend. Can you see it now? Huh? To all of our minority friends and colleagues and women as well. Do you see it? Right? You guys got your frenemies. You don't have no. Well, you have friends, but you tell them to F off because racist, sexist, patriarchy. Black and Latinx people leave tech at 3 times the rate of the white male peers. Well, maybe they should put in white male effort. Oh my God, Jesus. Oh, God. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. We should all be putting in Asian male effort. We don't make $150,000 a year. Macho Man, right? Could you imagine Macho Man Randy Savage doing, let me tell you something, liberal art majoring cousins and brothers. You ain't got the ball. You got to go and deliver Asian male effort, brother. Get your A pluses in all your math and sciences and get out there, brother. And part of that is the environment and culture that gets created. She said, no, it's not. not just by the stand-up meeting that you have, but by who has the power, who doesn't, and what risks people are required to make, and who's required to experience discomfort in the workplace. Who the hell said this? Oh, Carla Montessori. Yeah, look her up. Look her up. Now, here's a note, and there's another picture now. We move on to Alexis Moody. All right. Surprise. She's overweight, too. Alexis Moody, a software engineer at Data Intelligence from Morning Consult, is working on changing the language there and wrote a guide for others to do the same. How much time do you have? See, the guy who sent this, Anon, sent me a link to GitHub where there's all the bad terms. Just hear me out, okay? As an economist, I see y'all launching these buggy computer games and programs, right? It's like, well, you didn't put enough effort and work into it. Instead of you guys wasting your time, maybe you increase the quality of the code. That's just me, right? That's just me. How much time did you have? Are you really gainfully employed? Are you putting your time and effort in? A child, here, this is hilarious. Alexis Moody, she's younger than me. It looks like maybe late 20s here. So she was born in 24. She could be born, say, late 90s, early 2000s, right? As a child of slaves and sharecroppers from the South, just get out of here. Shut up. Shut up. What a fun person you are. I mean, in general. Just in general, man, everything's got to be for the view of Ray victim. What's your social life like with this constant woe is me? Who wants to hang out with Alexis Moody? Oh, she said of her experience as Black women in tech, seeing those terms. Do you understand why people behind closed doors don't want to hire you now? Do you understand that? It actually has nothing to do with you being Black or female. It has to do with you being a whiner and a victim, and you're delusional. You're not a child of sharecroppers or slaves. That's you're delusional. Like, we're going to keep away from that person. Give her a wide berth. Seeing those terms is just a little cut all the time. It just continues to get at you. And it's one of those things that it's hard to overlook over time. Well, you know whose problem it is? It's a you problem. Sounds like you. Sucks to be you. Like, I'm sure if I had nothing going on in my life and was a complete loser, I would then start to look for phrases and words in the past that were used, or if I had to sit and construe it, I might be offended by. I'm sure if whitelist, I don't know. The idea is so absurd. I haven't spent decades of my entire youth thinking about how I can be a victim. You know what? No one would want to hang out with me either. Moody says it does take time and therefore money, of course, to update the code and files with new language. But the argument that I made to my coworkers and the chief technology officer agreed. Yeah, because they don't want to get sued, lady. Is that it's such a minuscule change that pays dividends for inclusion and diversity down the road. There's no value in diversity and inclusion. There's no intrinsic value in that. There was no value given to anyone at all. Changing the language of tech has been picking up steam among the big players in the industry, or maybe they just paid you lip service. Both LinkedIn and GitHub, owned by Microsoft, are making changes. Meanwhile, groups like Center for Democracy and Technology are asking the internet standard-setting body to update its best practices to drop offensive language like master slave. Center for Democracy and Technology. Let me take a look at this. Who are we? Yes, who are you? Are there also overweight people there? Let's take a look at the staff. Who is the staff? Oh, my God. Talk about liberal white women to the rescue. Oh, my God. Look at this. Oh, Jesus, that's scary. Look at Kendall Aldridge. Holy. Whoa. Whoa. I got to scroll down. Look at all these dopes. Okay. This doesn't fit my thesis. Oh, God. What a look at, dude, Center for Democracy and Technology. This is just a welfare jobs program. There are so many positions. I guarantee you they get nonprofit or government money or academic money. Who are we about? Organization. Civil Liberty is established in 1994. I want to know where you get your funding. Oh, guys, you got to look at that. That's a whole other. I don't take advice from people who look like they've never lifted a weight in their life. That's another rule. All right, we'll go back. It go look at it. Liberal white women to the rescue. There it is. I give you the FBI. You want liberal white women? You want the miracles? I give you the FBI. You want white women to the rescue? I give you the Center for Democracy and Technology. Meanwhile, irrelevant, pointless, self-serving groups like the Center for Democracy and Technology are asking the internet standard-setting body to update its best practices to drop offensive language like master slave. And that's it. That's the article. All right. Now, when I clicked on all the people, look, what do you want me to say about this? It's a 4.5-year-old article. It's bullshit. It's written by politically motivated people. It's quoting people who just their primary motivation is not helping out tech or being a tech geek or being a person. It's about the same old grift of traitism. I'm born with trait X. Everyone without trait X hates me. We need to raise awareness. In other words, just piss away a lot of time and sometimes money on something that isn't a problem. All because either you want attention or you just don't want to work and you want free shit. That's it. Or lower standards. I spotted this long ago. Spotted it a little bit later. I'm like, hey, these are worthless degrees and we should stop it. And I'm, oh, shut up. 1.6 trillion in student loan debt right away now. It's tiring. It's from an irrelevant website. Doesn't mean anything. We are the media now. It's written by a nobody. I looked up her Twitter followers. Yes, I know Twitter's not the end all be all measure of it, but it's like, come on, if you majored in media, right? If you say, I'm going to play sports, and I say, I'm not going to play sports, I would expect you to be in better shape than me, right? Why is it every journal out there has less clout, media, traffic, whatever you want to say, than freaking me, who didn't set out to do it? Like, you should be plugged in to the traditional media outlet and have a shit ton of followers. You don't. So it's not that you're not at all relevant. You're just very little relevant. All right. You're nobody. Go look up whoever it was that I mentioned wrote this article. Go look at their profile. Like, oh, here's somebody with a bunch of books that don't sell, a bunch of zillion places they've written and been an independent journal. And now they're like, finding my journey, some other horseshit with their name as their website. All right. And there's nothing to say. I mean, it's so tiring. People with trait X are going to go and say, oh my God, trait X, we're oppressed. Give us money. That's it. Right. It's old. It's tiring. People are getting pissed off. I think people with trait X, whatever the trait is, they're getting pissed off. Say, hey, stop acting like a lazy fool over there. You're ruining us because you're using the trait you have as your primary thing, but you're just being a fat, lazy piece of shit. And now everyone's going to think that we are fat, lazy pieces of shit because we share trait X, because that's the fucking thing you talk about. I think people, whatever the trait is, people are waking up to it. So there's nothing to say about this, but then I did notice something. Everyone involved here is fat. So to contribute something new, I don't hate fat people if you're overweight. Actually, I have several friends who are overweight. I like people for their personalities and ethics and morals. But there's one thing I'm not doing. I'm not taking advice from fat people. Don't you lecture or sermon me. And the main reason why is because you're a hypocrite. I don't want to take any moral or ethical sermons or lectures. Don't you lecture me about what I ought to do and what society ought to do when you can't even take care of yourself. When you are so lazy and lacking of discipline that you're going to die early. I have to question all your values and judgments. And surprise, the people who want free shit and lower standards and easier advantage, and you're all bad at it, you're all fat. I think there's even a meme going around. I don't know if the lady quoted it, but there's this like gigantically obese, I think Latina woman, it's a gigantically obese person. Say they're going to cut off my EBT. It's like, dude, you are not missing. Why is it all the poor kids and the EBT? Why are you all fat? It's not because the food is bad. You're all lazy. You don't go out and work. Your kids don't go out and play. Playing their video games. They're on the internet. And maybe I can understand kids, because your parents aren't raising you right. And, here's the video game, and no, well, yeah, we'll get you some chicken tendies at the 7-Eleven with the EBT card. I can understand the kids, but when you're a full-grown adult and you're overweight and you're lecturing other people, let me tell you a story about somebody I know. I won't mention names or anything. This person is always reading the latest health shit on the internet. Okay. And you better do this. And I read an article about that. I read an article about this. Did you know that? And after a while, if you were to follow, this person has no filter. What they are is a bored person who just, that's what they do, is they read about health information, right? And that's what they do for fun sometimes. And then they say, did you hear about this? And if you were to actually do all the things this person recommends, you wouldn't be able to do it in a day. Because most of this is horse shit. Most of it is, I don't know, pop nutrition or whatever you would call it. A study shows that shoving blueberries up your ass helps with your colon. I really like those type of articles. This is also not a terribly intelligent person. So they might actually believe, oh, if I shove blueberries up my ass, will it help out? But what's hilarious is you will get a lecture and a sermon, and then maybe not like an admonishing one. I'll say, I read an article. If you do this, that will help your hearing. This person needs a wheelchair to get to and from the airport. This person is so fat, they can't walk a quarter mile across a parking lot. And I'm like, it's rich, you being a fat ass and lecturing me about health. But my point goes beyond that. I mean, that's an obvious contradiction. You're talking health all the time, but you're fat and you're going to die early. You're going to get diabetes. Your heart's going to give out and stroke, and you aren't going to live as long as you could. And here you are telling, they weren't just in defense. They weren't lecturing me. I'm just sitting there looking like, you're giving me health advice? You're giving me health advice. But fat people in general, I'm sorry, fat, unless, of course, a disorder or thyroid, whatever, an actual medical condition, you're in no position to give any advice on anything as far as I'm concerned. Because we have physical, visual proof you are lazy and you lack discipline. I don't trust people who are lazy and lack discipline. Now, you could be a good ethical person, but when it comes to what I ought and ought not do, shut the fuck up. Don't give me the finger. Don't tell me talk to the hand. I'm done listening. It's the same thing with, you look at the liberal people, right? You're like, why are they so weak looking? Why are you so limp? Like, let's go the other side, okay? I'm not listening to any advice coming from a David Hogue or a Harry Sison or he's a little bit older than them, a Destiny. I'm not with you limp-wristed, weak soy boys. I'm not taking any advice from basically rich kids who never had to work a physical job for. I'm not listening to you. You don't know anything. You've had life on easy mode. You're afraid of pain and agony, and you don't go to the gym, and you don't do physical jobs. And here you are lecturing us. It also happens to be, I don't think any of them are over 30. You're going to save us. Shut the fuck up. But Two different groups, same thing. There are visual tells you guys don't work hard. There are visual tells you lack discipline and you avoid challenge. Right? I want to know, show me your workday, sweetheart. Now, I don't think it was Alexis that put together the GitHub list of all the different bad words in programming. I want to know what your workday looks like. Will you get up? Do you get up at 7 and get there at 8? Do you get up at 5, get there at 6? Do you get up at 9, roll your ass in, pun intended, with a coffee and a double frappuccino, extra sugar chocolate latte? Do you actually code and produce good code and get the projects done on time? Are you sitting on a bunch of bullshit committees and say, you know what we got to do? We have to do this. Are you being a liberal white woman solving everybody's problems and avoiding work at all costs? Are you starting nonprofits? Oh, you are. Oh, what? And just for you guys as a general rule, you're going to go out there and whether it's IT, whether it's health, whether it's anything, if there's I'll give you another example. All the bankers I worked with, right? All the women we talked about, I think mostly in the article happen to be minority women. I'll show you the other side, okay? Dude, bunch of fat, overweight white dudes, right? Lecturing me about whatever, debt service coverage ratios, cash flow, and arguing to get their fucking commission check. Trying to throw out my underwriting like, oh, you didn't know do that, oh, you don't know anything about the economy. I don't I? Ha! You don't understand. We've been through this before. I'm like, yeah, I saw the data. The data's out there. I didn't have to be alive in the 70s to know about the inflation, though I was. I'm aware of what happened because I've studied it. Same thing. You shouldn't be listening to a fat pig of a banker who he's fat. He's lazy. He lacks discipline. Surprise, you find out he's just as bankrupt and in debt as all the clients he's trying to lend money to. Are there good fat people who are morally ethical and work hard? Sure. But when you start lecturing me, right? When you start lecturing me and you're too lazy to even take your own health into consideration, yeah, I'm not listening to. And you know what? Maybe you should shut up. Maybe you should be quiet. Maybe if you could think about it, because they got to let you know. They got to let you know. They got to have some kind of value. Why do you work for it? Whoa, work. Whoa, hang on. They got to let you know. How about this? Let me ask you lecturing fat people something. What if nobody wants to hear what you have to say? What if you're annoying them? What if hey, you know what? I don't need to listen to somebody. And what if your sermon in your lecture is the same it's always been for 20 fucking years? What if you're using phrases like Latinx and people like, hey, I don't care. Do you understand you're annoying me right now? I would feel, again, it takes ethics. It takes self-awareness. I'd feel horrible if I monopolized a meeting of a company, whatever company. And I said, hey, I'd like to discuss and address the brown-eyed people. And because whatever, they're afraid of the brown-eyed people filing lawsuits. Okay, Aaron, come on in. Why don't you tell us about the brown-eyed people? Well, you see, you blue-eyed people. Meanwhile, we're making widgets. I feel horrible. Why am I wasting these people's time? We got to make widgets. I find it offensive, brown-eyed girl, because there's different shades of brown. And if you were culturally sensitive to the brown-eyed community. And now, I know laziness is the most powerful force in many people's lives, and the fear of work is more powerful than that. And so you plain don't care. I get it. You plain don't care. And you're going to go on, you're going to lecture and sermon. You're just pissing people off. Just pissing people off because people are starting to grow up a little bit. Hey, when does the work occur? Yeah, we've done the 10 years of conscious, obvious, blatant traitism. We got it. There are different people, different communities, different paths, different problems. We get it. All right. You all been bitching a long time about it. This is 4 years ago. And I think, 4 years later, Trump election being partly indicative of this, people are sick of it. They're sick of it. But in general, I'm done listening. I never did really listen to fat people. I don't listen to people who give bullshit. I did enough of that when I was a kid growing up listening to boomers. And when it didn't work out, 30 was like, that was the year, man. That was the year. When the FBI came in and busted the banker wasn't arrested. One of his clients was. And the banker, in fairness, was not fat. He was dumb. He was lazy, but he wasn't fat. That's why I stopped listening. I don't care what you lazy people say anymore. It's been coming up on 20 years now. I don't care you got gray hair. Are you fat? Are you dumb? Are you saying stupid shit? Fuck off. And a good, just I'm not saying, don't, by no means, don't not hang out with your fat friends. Don't not hire fat. No, I mean, go. But when you're going to lecture me, I should just get it. Hang on. Go to the dollar store. What'd you get? I got a mirror. Look at that. See that? Yeah, you're going to die early. And you're telling me, what about health now? What about mechanics? What advice are you trying to, let me look at look, my cheeks are almost a little sunk in. Where do you, your cheeks blow it out like, you look like a chipmunk. Hey, I got an idea. Don't tell me what to do. And then there'll be hurt feelings. And then we got to get the National Guard and kill you because you hurt someone's feelings. Super chat, stray $2, but Cappy, fatties are gravitationally challenged. That's a them problem. 5N, 4K, 3 dork, $5. Had a friend's overweight wife try to tell me my eating habits were bad for me. I know, isn't it great? Isn't it great when that's my favorite, is when fat people lecture me about health or they give health advice. That's my favorite. Were bad for me, light fast during the weekends, despite her having 200 pounds on me. I know it's just the lack of awareness. I mean, you got to also have a certain amount of intelligence to be aware of that. I think by a certain point in time, after you're indoctrinated in the West, you just become a plant and your thoughts are perfectly programmed into you. They say, there's always they say. There's a whole industry, Oprah included, where they're just going to write, hey, let's write some bullshit that people are going to like jibber jabber about and spread around among their equally plant brain friends. Did you hear that dark chocolate's good for you? Did you hear that? Nom, 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 noms. It's coming. That's coming now. The obese generation. Boomers, not so much. Gen X, we're getting there. I think we'll be the ones where you're going to start seeing. Well, aren't life expectancies going down now, or they're plateauing because there's so many fat people? I just, you're going to die early. Please shut up. By your own hand, you're going to die early. Don't tell me anything about anything. Just shut up. And then they get pissed off. They try and come after you. Just jump out of the way. Whoa, are you actually going to try to catch me? What are you going to do that? My favorite, you see it in Walmart where they're so fat, they got to do the lunge with the hip. And then they waddle. Their arms are like this. It's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Do you remember him in Ghostbusters when he kind of, he wasn't running like Usain Bolt. He had to do the fat hip move walk. Big Shell, $2. I have a fat Vietnam vet as a grandpa. Well, that's a him problem. I should do a video on sounds like a you problem or sounds like a them problem. I keep having, and you love your grandpa, right? It's really hard to see that. You gotta let it go, man. Gotta let it go. Listen to me, Big Show. Listen to me, everyone. The majority of your family, not only your spouse, the majority of your family love laziness and food more than they love you. It's true. Majority of people in your life love laziness and food more than they love laziness and food more than they love themselves. That's how bad this is. I'm not listening to people who love sloth and laziness more than life itself. I'm not listening to you. Please shut up. All right, that's it. Link below is all my links. You can go get the books, which are generally financial planning. The newest one is called Zero World Problems, New Standards of Living in a Post-Materialist Economy. There's also a link to my courses in case you don't like reading books, generally also circled around personal financial management stuff. There is my Subscribestar channel, which is access to the Road Trip podcast. That is a membership only. You need $2 a month for that if you want to subscribe. What else? I have my Amazon affiliate link, and then 2 links below. One is called for Incognito. That's one of those data removal subscription services. So sign up for that. And that's something you ought to do. It's like going to the dentist. And then there's also Cameo. He said, what's Cameo? That's where it's an app and you pay different, micro internet celebrities or big celebrities. There's some pretty big celebrities on that platform to whatever. Wish your buddy a happy birthday or have a good colonoscopy, insult them, call them names. Or at least that's what it's been used for so far. No one said, wish my grandmother a happy birthday. It's not been that. It's like, hey, dick nuts. I heard that your wife dumped you. Fuck you. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.